Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash Season 5 and we've got new photos that we need to be breaking down for episode 10. So The Flash is returning in 9 days from now, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any DC TV videos later this year. Before we start this video, check out my film channel and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been making lots of videos over there. We're going to be talking about lots of new films. We talk about Aquaman, a whole mix of films, and I think some of you guys might like that. It's kind of similar to what I do here with DC TV. Okay, so now let's move on, talk about these photos. So they released 14 photos. I've just picked the main ones and we're going to be breaking it down bit by bit and talking about what to expect in this episode. So we first start off in the first photo. We see Cisco and Caitlin, as we talked about in, I think it was yesterday's video when the synopsis was released. Caitlin and Cisco in this episode are going to be talking about perhaps making a cure for metahumans. Like, can they be reversed and can they be put back to a normal human without the meta gene? And this is going to be playing into what Killer Frost is going to be doing in this episode, but also how they're going to link it into Caitlin's father when he eventually returns. I think that's the main motivation, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. So I think they're setting that all up. So we just get a nice photo of them inside Star Labs, and Cisco in the next photos looking through the microscope. So I do believe what's probably going on when he's wearing these goggles and he's essentially doing science stuff, because what I think is going on is in this next photo we have Killer Frost with Cisco, and I just love that Killer Frost is back, can I just say. But I think she's going to give perhaps a piece of her blood or a bit of her meta DNA, because they need to actually examine it, and I think that's what Cisco is doing in most of these photos. He's examining the blood, or you know, the source and sample from a meta. That meta is Killer Frost most likely, because why else should she be there? We know she's good, she's not bad, she's not there to kill Cisco or anything. Yeah, I do believe that's what Killer Frost is doing right there. Just so excited to see her back for more action. I don't know if you guys share the same enthusiasm, because I love Danielle. I think she's so great, and her returning as Killer Frost is just beyond exciting for me. Okay, so now moving on to the next photo, we're still in Star Labs. We see Caitlin, Iris and Nora, and they're gathering around and they're looking at something, and this is most likely in the middle of the episode when they're sorting out these villains that were seen in the trailer the other day. There's Weather Witch returning, and we have a new villain, and they are going to be teaming up in this episode, in this Fast and Furious type episode, like in the middle of the episode only. So they're just the villains of the week and they'll go back away and go to prison. And so you see Cisco joining them, and they're essentially just looking at the screen as they normally do when they're probably talking to someone in the field, or they're just looking at like a piece of evidence to prove like where they are, and they're gonna go get them in a sec. Okay, so now moving on to the next photo. So I was a little confused, and maybe some of you guys were. When I first saw these photos, I was like, oh shit, they're re-releasing photos from season 4, because it looks exactly identical, because it's the same courtroom as the one we saw last year. So automatically I was like, okay, so this is a bit strange, why are they releasing these? But turns out they're back in the courtroom, and at first I was like, why would they be in the courtroom? Could it be in the future? Could it be like the trial of the Reverse Flash, or the trial of the Flash? But no, it's not that. I think it's something much more simple than that, because all three of them are there and they're smiling. They're on the sort of witness side inside the court. So I'm guessing this is probably to do with one of the villains that we're going to see in this episode, most likely Weather Witch, because they took down Weather Witch. They obviously have the evidence and they all contributed in actually taking her down in this case. So why wouldn't they be there? And I think that's the best explanation, but I think this will play in probably just after the Reverse Flash and Nora opening scenes, and I think this will be the setup for the middle part of the episode when Weather Witch escapes, and she's probably broken out by the other villain in the episode. And so we get some really nice photos of Barry just in the courtroom, and it just showcases him in the suit and his surroundings essentially. And so as we head towards the end of these photos, we see Barry, and he's locked up in the prison, so inside Star Labs in the cell, and we don't know why, but we saw this in the trailer and we know Nora is there. She's most likely locked him up, and I think it's mainly due to her actually going out, as we saw in the second trailer, that she's going to be taking them down alone. She doesn't want Barry to do this, and I think it's probably for a specific reason that maybe the Reverse Flash teases at, and I think there's a reason. But also apparently there was some filming schedule issues with the crossover filming at this time, and they couldn't get Grant in too much into the episode, so apparently that's the rumor, and maybe that's why he's in prison. But essentially I think Nora's gonna lock him up, and he's got like a plastic cup in his hand, like from a fast food place, maybe from Big Belly Burger or somewhere. It's very relaxed, and it doesn't seem like it's like a forceful kind of lock away. I think she's doing it for the greater good, but I don't know what. But I really do like this photo showcasing Nora and also Barry when he's locked in. And so then we move on to the next photo, and this is of the doors as they're actually opened, and you see Barry resting on the two sides, and so he's obviously in conversation. I just want to say I love this photo. I think it showcases the Flash suit so good. And this is why we need to get that cowl fix. We need the chin strap, because he looks so good like this, but when he's got the mask on, it just doesn't look right. This is him after he's probably going to go out, and he's probably not talking to Nora. I'm guessing he's talking to maybe Iris or one of the team members, as he's probably going to save Nora, because in all the other trailers we see Nora alone, but then in some of the shots we see Barry out there trying to stop these villains. So I'm guessing Nora's going to go at it first alone, and she's going to make that same mistake she keeps on making because she needs Barry's help. She's not that advanced, and obviously the training with Reverse Flash hasn't been going on for all too long. She knows quite a lot, but not that much compared to Barry as of right now. So I really like that photo. And so we move on to the next photo, and this is the final photo, and you see Grant and Candace together, and this is Barry and Iris. And at first when I saw this, I thought it was a behind the scenes photo, but it's actually not, because Candace isn't looking at the camera. I think that's just a mistake with Grant actually looking there. I think they're looking at probably Nora down there, and they're having a conversation, it looks like. But that's all in regards to the photos, and the way that I believe this links into what's happening in this episode. Like, some people could theorize that with Barry actually being locked up, maybe he finds out about Nora, and maybe he finds out about the Reverse Flash. But I think that's a very slim possibility right now, because we're going to see Nora and Reverse Flash at the start of this, but then I don't believe we're going to actually find out, or at least the team is going to find out about Nora and Reverse Flash for at least a few more episodes, and I think Sherlock will reveal it. I don't think it's going to be Nora locking him up and being like, I'm working with the Reverse Flash and he said to do this. I don't think it's going to be her saying anything. I believe it will be Sherlock sometime in the next few episodes. So I guess people probably could theorize from this that it is him finding out about Reverse Flash, because when he actually finds out that she's been working with him, that's going to be devastating to him. You can't imagine the effect that will have, because Reverse Flash is his greatest enemy. He killed his mum and he killed Nora's grandmother, so that would tear them apart, literally. I don't think Barry could ever forgive Nora, probably for years, or probably for decades, because that is the greatest crime. And so now with this episode, as it is in the synopsis, as we talked about in yesterday's video, Nora is trying to grapple with the fact that she's been working with the person that murdered her grandmother, and that same thing would apply to if Nora revealed to Barry that she was working with the Reverse Flash. And I think it's going to have some very big ramifications later in the season, and I think that reveal, when it actually happens, is going to lead Nora down this new path that we haven't seen her, because right now she's sort of on the same path. She's just spending time with her family and friends, and she's trying to train to become a better speedster with her father, run with her father, run with the Flash, and that is going to all come to a crashing halt when this information is revealed. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video and you're excited for the Flash's return on the 15th, please be sure to subscribe, share this video around on social media or anywhere. If you have any theories or any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos from me. And so anyway guys, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.
every tear.